Okay, everybody, it's a Sunday night live chat. If you're watching this after the fact and not jumping on with us live, we're going to take about a 30-second space here and let everybody that's getting ready to jump on live. So if you're watching this after the fact, um, after we've recorded it, like I said, we'll wait a few seconds here before we get rolling. Let people start jumping on. So take a short pause here, and we'll be rolling here in a few seconds. So, Sunday evening again. You guys are coming back. I guess that's good. It's exciting for me to see you guys jumping on and wanting to spend some time and hang out with me. I enjoy it, and I'm having fun. I hope you guys are too. Um, as always, let me. You got questions? Throw them up there. I'll try to catch them. We are on 3 platforms right now. We're on YouTube Live. Hopefully, YouTube is working. Last week, it seemed to go pretty smooth with our YouTube guys, so keeping our fingers crossed that continues to work. Got Glenn on from Minnesota. Glenn's back. Ohio's on with Barney. Thanks for being here, guys. Got John on YouTube from Virginia. If you are on the Nobody's Show page, last week I did notice that I had comments after I got off, but it was not feeding me while we were on live, so I apologize for that. If I'm sure I know I missed some of you guys, but it's not feeding. I try to keep checking the screen, so we'll try it again and see if I get the comments on the Nobody Show page. Nothing on there yet. Obviously, I'm getting comments on YouTube and the Nobody Else's Auto page, so I know we're up and live there. So anyway, what do we got for tonight? Dwight in Ohio, thanks for being here. Upstate New York's on. Got our good friend Zach on. Always good to see Zach on with us. Texas, we're all over the country already jumping on. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you being here. Hey, Kevin, what's going on? Well, things are improving, hopefully, with the pandemic situation. More Texas on 67 Impalas. I do not have, for some reason, I do not have 167 full-size Chevy on the place. I don't know why, but I do not have. Kansas is finally starting to lighten up some of their restrictions here in the near future. Tennessee, Delaware, Dallas. Wow, we're kind of hitting all over the country. Thanks, guys. They're starting to hopefully work out of some of this stuff. We're going to be able to start doing a few things, at least in Kansas. And hopefully by the middle of June, we'll be kind of complete phase out, kind of trying to get back to somewhat normal, which is great because that's what we all want to do. It's a beautiful time of the year. We want to get cars out. The local car club that we just started, me and the other officers met last night and are trying to get some stuff sorted out on what we can do here as soon as we can. 47 KB6 parts. I do have some KB6s in stock. If you want to give me a call after we get done here, I can get a list of what you need. San Diego, we got California on. We're coast to coast. So keeping our fingers crossed that all this all continues and keeps rolling and that we can get some stuff going again and start having some fun. 64 Buick 225, I've got one here. 65 Impala, I've got one 4-door parts car. George is on with us. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you being here. So hopefully, keeping our fingers crossed, we're through the worst of this, and we can start getting back to doing what we love. It's been great that everybody's been having some time to work on their stuff, but we want to get out and do something. 60 El Caminos. I do not have any 60 El Caminos. I've got 160 Impala. There's not a lot left of it. Any complete square body Chevys, 1 or 2, not a lot in there. 35 Master, depends on what kind of 35 Master we're talking about. So one thing that I do want to mention, I don't want anybody to forget, this pandemic has brought on or has brought out really the best in a lot of people. We did realize how important a lot of people are. I mean, look what the trucking industry did over the last couple months to keep store supplies stocked and things like that. I mean, it's the people that were out there making things happen is what kept everything rolling through this situation. And that's what's important. And we need to keep that in mind no matter what we do. We need to keep in mind that we always want to treat people the way we want to be treated. This one thing that this did show, I think showed a lot of people is, athletes, celebrities, those people that make millions of dollars, when it really push comes to shove, they don't really do us a lot of good. But if we didn't have those trucks rolling down the highways, if we didn't have people fixing those trucks, if we didn't have people taking care of our electricity and our plumbing and heating and air and things like that, we'd have been in a real mess. So that's what I'm keeping my fingers crossed, that, you know, that everybody learns something out of this, and let's keep a good attitude towards things, and just keep moving forward and doing that. Bronco 2s, no Bronco 2s at all. Motors manuals, they're not worth a lot. Some of them do have part numbers in them. That is very handy if you're trying to find out a part number. Some of them have part numbers, and some of them do have good instructions in them. But they're not rare. They're not hard to find because every shop had motors manuals. So they are handy to have around, but they're not. One of our younger gearheads that has been hanging out with us. Thanks for being here, Mason. Appreciate you watching and hanging out too. So a little bit of lag on YouTube. We'll keep our fingers crossed that does not continue. 63 Ford Unibody. I do not have any Unibody Fords at all right now. So anyway, let's see, where are we at in my notes? Oh, topic for tonight that I wanted to touch on a little bit is PayPal, using PayPal. PayPal is extremely handy. Basically, if you've used eBay anytime in the last 10 years, you have to use it pretty much. 40 Pontiac or Chevy Coupe hoods. I've got a 40 Chevy hood. I've got a 40 Chevy 4 that's got a hood still. 47 KB6 engine parts. That I do not know. On internal engine parts, I'm not sure on that. But obviously, PayPal is extremely convenient. It's extremely handy. However, and I've, like I said, primarily used it for eBay and Cadillac flatheads. I don't think I've got any Cadillac flatheads at all. But there's a lot of rules and restrictions that PayPal requires that a lot of people are not aware of. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about tonight. Obviously, PayPal is expensive. It doesn't cost you guys to purchase something with it, but people like me have to pay for that. So PayPal is not free. So a lot of people, they comment that they want to use PayPal. That's fine, but it's going to cost you more. So Classic Ride Society, PayPal is all they use. And that's true. And I know a lot of people use that. When you're a seller using PayPal, it's a lot stickier than that. If I were to ship a package to an unconfirmed address that PayPal does not say is a confirmed address, that package is my responsibility if something happens to it. You cannot ship to any address other than the address in the ship to box on PayPal. If you change the address, I cannot ship it to you. So that's some of the stuff you've got to think about with PayPal. There is a ton of fine print. And if you're not familiar with all that, that's something you got to deal with. You know, I had a guy mad at me this week because he used PayPal. He tried to change the address on me, wanted me to ship it somewhere else, and I can't do it. And not gonna do it. I mean, it's just too risky. So it's their rules, it's their game. If you want to use PayPal, you got to play with their rules, and you got to play with their game, and you got to pay attention to their fine print. So, so that's all stuff to think about that a lot of guys don't think about when you're just using it to buy stuff and not really worrying about anything else. Complete front clip for a 56 F100. I do not have a complete front end for a 56 right now. On the Nobody Show page, I'm not feeding comments again, so I don't know if you guys are commenting. If you are, I apologize. I'm not getting them. So, and like John says, you got to be careful. There's a lot of scams and scammers out there, and it's in all honesty, it's as much on my end as it is on your guys' end, because there's people that will pull that, switching around, ship it to my buddy's house. I'm going to be out of town, things like this. And then they say they didn't get it. Now, fortunately, PayPal has gotten a little better about at least giving you a chance to plead your case. 5, 6, 8 years ago on PayPal, if somebody filed a complaint, they just took the money from me, and then I had to fight to get it back. They don't take it, but they will freeze it. But it's still, you have to go through the process of proving you shipped it, proving it was delivered, proving all your shipping information, and it's just a pain in the butt. So there are a lot of scammers out there, and there are a lot of scammers that, from my end of it, even probably more so than on what you guys think or what you guys run into. So PayPal's handy. It does work. It's a pain in my butt, and it's not that simple. And it's, like I said, when people say they want to use it, it's going to cost you more because it just costs more to use. So that was kind of the topic I wanted to bring up, kind of the industry related topic I wanted to bring up tonight. Keeping my fingers crossed, we've got some industry news to start talking about here in the somewhat near future. So hopefully things are going to start shaking out there, and we'll start doing more cool things will start happening, and we'll have some industry news to report on. Where am I located? I am in Great Bend, Kansas is where I'm out of. So like Tuma says, yes, you can use goods and services, uses goods and services when using PayPal. That's also true. Classic Ride Society restores factory AC parts for older vehicles. And he only uses PayPal because of the buyer-seller protection. And there is some truth to that. But like I said, typically the PayPal looks at the seller. It seems like PayPal kind of treats the seller as the crook to start with for what you've got to jump through to get your money back when somebody tries to pull something on you. So it's not a bad system. It does work. But there's a lot of fine print that a lot of people don't understand that you have to abide by. It's their game. It's just like eBay or any of these other sites. It's their game. It's their rules, and you have to play by them. And that's something that's just not something I wanted to share tonight as kind of an industry topic that I know a lot of guys do use and do run into. So that's kind of what I wanted to bring up tonight on. That's kind of a topic to talk about. So we're about halfway through, and we're rolling pretty good. We've got a pretty decent crowd on right now. 74 Charger automatic shift linkage. I may have something for column shift. I don't have anything with a console in it. So comments are still coming in everywhere other than Nobody's Show. If you're commenting on the Nobody's Show on Facebook, it's not coming through. Parts have to go to PayPal verified address. Yes, that is correct. That's what we brought up earlier. You have to have a verified address, or a confirmed address is what PayPal calls it. It has to be a confirmed shipping address through PayPal. So Classic Ride Society, we'll have to check them out too. So anyway, where are we at? Okay, who wants to do some trivia? Anybody up for trivia tonight? Did I look at parts on a 78 Caprice too? If you're going to have to let me know which parts we're talking about. Yeah, and that's something else, guys. I talk to probably a couple hundred people a week. So I'd have to go back through my notebook and see exactly what we were talking about because I don't recall exactly what we were discussing on that Caprice. So trivia. Let's do some trivia. If everybody's ready, and if you're on the Nobody's Show page on Facebook, I'm not sure what's going on there, if we're getting comments on there because they're not popping up. And also, if you guys can help me out by sharing this around, telling your friends, and sharing these videos with your buddies who are gearheads and car guys. The more guys we get on, the more fun we can have with these. Location again, Great Bend, Kansas is where we're at. Okay, we're getting everybody's ready for trivia. So tonight we're going to give you another can. This is an STP can. It is a smaller can, 10 ounce. It's kind of dented up, but it's got really great graphics on it. So it's a cool can. I'll show it to every screen on here. It's 10 ounce, about the size of a beer can. STP cooling system and stop leak sealer. The can is dated 1971. So it's got some age to it. It didn't have these couple dents in the front. It'd be a great can. But it is all metal, painted, neat looking can. So, since we're going to do STP, Jason says he'll take Chevy parts for $200. So maybe we need to switch to a Jeopardy format here or something. But anyway, and I do appreciate the feedback, guys. This is fun. I'm having a good time. I hope you guys are having a good time. We've got about 50 or 60 people on with us right now. So here we go. STP. Obviously, I was going to use what's STP stand for, but that's too common. Everybody knows what STP stands for, or most people probably do. Obviously, the logo is legendary with their involvement with Richard Petty and things like that over the years. So the STPs, and I think back in the 70s, back when I was a real little kid, I still remember that. There was STP stickers everywhere. Everybody had an STP stickers. So we know how big they got with Richard Petty and NASCAR in the 70s and everything, but when did they start? When did STP start? When was it formulated? What year? It's kind of interesting. When as I'm sitting here thinking about ideas for trivia, I start looking some of this stuff up, and some of the Facebook comments are loading on the Nobody Else's Auto page, Russ. I can see you. The Nobody Show page on Facebook is apparently not loading comments. The Nobody Else's Auto page, where you are, Russ, is. We're getting close already. John's real close on YouTube. And I'm getting all the way around it right now. I'm trying to watch everything. There we go. John Little and Toomas both got 1954 at the same time. 1954 is when it was started, according to their website. So John and Toomas are going to be our winners for tonight. So I'll have to figure something out for one of you because you both hit it at the same time. I'll have to see if I've got another one of those cans. So John and Toomas, give me a call after we get done here so I can get your shipping information. So, but thanks for playing, guys. And now it's popping up quite a bit over here now on the Nobody Else's Auto page also. We got it on YouTube first tonight, which is good because that tells me YouTube is working. So, but it was interesting when I looked it up. It was started by three guys just kind of messing around in their garage, and they literally just came up with it and started selling it out of the trunks of their cars. John says Toomas can take it if he wants. That's great. I appreciate that, John. I may have another one, so if you want to give me a call, I'll see what I can come up with on that also. So, but kind of an interesting deal. They started in 54, which you think 54 was not that long for as huge as it got, as quick as it got by the 60s and 70s. And as I was looking at some of their company history, in 1961, it was actually bought by the Studebaker Packard Corporation, which I found to be very interesting. And, and then obviously it blew up. It was used in race cars. They sponsored race cars. And in 1966, 12 years after it was developed, of course, Studebaker Packard had bought it in 61, 43 million in sales in 12 years for an oil additive. So kind of interesting, kind of a neat company history. You might want to check out if you get a minute, kind of an interesting quick read that you don't have to spend a lot of time on, but that's kind of the cool part about looking some of this stuff up as I'm thinking of different ideas for trivia and different things to talk about. I'm learning stuff too as we're doing it. So I hope you guys are, and I hope you guys are having fun with it also. So that takes care of trivia for tonight. So here's the, what else is going on right now? My buddy Michael Jones at Gasoline Alley Classics is working on some t-shirt designs. Hopefully we have some cool t-shirts that we can give away here coming up soon. So he's working on that. The training group that we've been talking about for a long time, I've got to get on that. I'm going to put a timeline together to start knowing when I'm going to start building this training group. And if you guys are interested in learning how I do what I do, all the different aspects of the parts business, as far as, finding cars, buying cars, selling parts, marketing, shipping, boxing, packaging, things like that, we're going to get into that. So I'm going to actually put together a timeline to get that rolling. Rogers at 55 and 57 Star Chief bumpers. Those are different every year. So I would need to know which ones you've got. I've got some of them. Jason wants to know who John is. John is on YouTube. We're on YouTube also. So that's why you're not seeing all the comments, because we are on YouTube live at the same time. Swap meet's coming up. Like we talked about last week, Lawrence was canceled. Lawrence, Kansas. That was the only thing I really knew coming up for sure, and it's been canceled without a new date. Russ, when do I have time for Q&A? That's why this dedicated group is going to be a Q&A, doing a deep dive into stuff about what I do. So that's where we're going to do that, and that's why it's taken this long to try to get you to put something together. is it's just tough to schedule it, but I just have to do it. I've been promising you guys for a long time. I've got people that want to join the group and want to start learning some of this stuff. So hopefully by next week I will have a schedule or a timeline that I can give you guys on when I can do something with that. If you're interested in something like that. Oh, I talk too much apparently. Getting dry. Last week's episodes on the On Nobody Show. I hope you guys caught them. There were some different ones. They were kind of cool. We shot them out in Galatia, which is where my dad had all of his cars for years. He's got about 25 or 26 more left out there that we're going to be moving into my place. So if you didn't catch those, I kind of liked those videos. The first one we did, which aired last Monday, but it was neat to me because it was where I started. I mean, that's what I talked about, and it was where I started, where I cut my teeth. So if you didn't catch that, you might go back and watch that. This week, I didn't realize, hey, Chopper, we got Chopper 1 back on with us. Glad to have you back on, Chopper. This week, I didn't realize it's been over 2 weeks since we shot anything in the new yard. Went out today and shot one for tomorrow night in the new yard. Said we could get rain tomorrow, so I went out and shot one today to make sure I've got something to post for tomorrow night that will be in the new yard stuff. Line on a 53 Hudson 4-door with a twin carb manifold. Possibly just depends on where it's at. The logistics a lot of times are tough for me. I do have a Newell stock manifold set for it, though, believe it or not. I've got a Newell stock, never been bolted on a car, intake and exhaust manifold set for a dual carb Hudson straight 8. So kind of a cool piece I've got laying around. So that's what's coming up on the new episodes. And then Toy Tuesday, I still got you guys jumping on Toy Tuesday. Everybody seems to be enjoying it. The numbers definitely don't pull what the cars do, but we're having fun with it. We'll keep doing it. Let your memorabilia buddies know that we're doing Toy Tuesday. And we will probably do, I'm thinking, I've had some requests on license plates, tag toppers, things like that. So Omaha for that Hudson, that's a pretty good haul for me. That would probably be a little far outside of my range to be able to come after it. Phone number, once again, and it will be posted on the pages when we get done here, 620-786-4428. So I'm thinking maybe dig some tag toppers out for Toy Tuesday and work into a little memorabilia there also. And what else we got? New inventory. Time for new inventory. I got a few things picked up this week, plus we moved several from Dad's this weekend. The stuff that came in from Dad's, obviously, if you caught the Buicks caught the episodes last week about the Buicks, obviously stuff's coming in from Dad's or Buicks. So we moved. Actually, we moved all Roadmasters this weekend. A 50, a 51, a 52, and a 53, all Roadmasters. Repeat about swap meet. I can repeat it, but there wasn't much to say because I haven't heard of anything that has been rescheduled yet. So that's what we were talking about, swap meets. I haven't found any new schedules for the ones that have been canceled. So Jason can help with shipping. He runs all 48 states. Now, that's always a possibility too. Probably need to talk to you about that in case I do find something that was a little far outside of my area, but you may be going that way. Plus, I'm always shipping stuff out, vehicles, cabs, beds, things like that. So I'm always looking for guys. Guys are always looking for stuff to be transported. So swap meets is, as I know, there's a Hutch Spring swap meet. It was canceled. The Lawrence swap meet was canceled, and those are ones that are in Kansas that I'm familiar with. So as I start seeing this stuff getting rescheduled, by all means, I will definitely try to bring it up. If you guys have some events that are coming up that you want me to bring up and let people know have been rescheduled, by all means, let me know. So anyway, the Roadmasters that came in from Dad, and then we had I picked up an 81 or 82 GMC Caballero. Same thing as an El Camino, essentially just a GMC version of it. Originally called the Sprint, and then they switched it to the Caballero when they went to the G-Body platform. So had that come in, and then I had a 75 Monte Carlo come in that actually it's kind of a rough car, been sitting for years, but man, this thing was loaded when it was new. Power windows, power locks, factory tack, factory gauges, buckets, console, floor shift. Oh, and it's even swivel buckets, which are getting kind of tough to find. Kind of cool, funky 70s seats to find factory swivel buckets in some of the mid 70s GM stuff. So, okay, Jason runs 53-foot trailer, so that might be a possibility too. If some of you guys do need a cab or a vehicle or a bed shift, maybe Jason can help us out with that too. So, yeah, Chopper, his pops love the Monte Carlos. The Monte Carlos are neat. Yeah, the swivel seats are cool too. 70s Buicks. It depends on what we're talking about as far as 70s Buicks. Everything that's left at Dad's is 50s era. He had several 70s era Buicks that we moved last year, and I've got several Buicks from the 70s. So it just depends on what we're talking about as far as 70s Buicks. Pate, yes, I've heard of Pate. I've been to it once about 20 years ago. Back when I worked for Chrysler. I was on assignment down in Texas when I was in warranty administration with Chrysler Corporation. I did stop at Pate 1 year at the racetrack. I believe it was postponed also this year. If they have rescheduled that, I haven't seen it to the best of my knowledge, at least. If I did, I missed it. Classic Ride's got some stuff about Pate on his channel. Chopper One's doing a 64 Starflyer. That's cool. So, anyway, guys, that's kind of what I had for tonight. If there's anything else that you guys have or anything else you guys have to add, just let me know. Throw it up there. Okay, Pate has been rescheduled for October. Okay, and Pate is a big one. There's no doubt about Pate is a big one. So, good to know that. Or September, they said maybe September. So at least we do know Pate has been rescheduled. Russ, am I seeing an uptick on prices on 60 to 60 C10s? Absolutely. That stuff is going through the roof. Yeah, loves Caprices, the 80s Malibus. Yep. That stuff is getting so hard to find, and that stuff is getting so popular. That 70s and 80s stuff, like we've talked about in some of those videos. If you caught my video on the 85 Cavalier I did, stuff is so tough to find anymore. Nobody saved it. Nobody thought it was going to be of any interest to anybody, and now it's all gone. So I'm grabbing what I can get. That's all I can tell you. I'm trying to save whatever I can get of the 70s and 80s, and even start to grab some of the 90s stuff. The full. I've got one of the big Roadmasters. If I found some of the 90s Caprices, I would grab that stuff. It's just getting tough to find. So anyway, looks like things are slowing down. I apologize if you're commenting on the Nobody Show page on Facebook. That's not feeding. I apologize if I'm not getting it. Yeah, we got a ton of Caprice guys on YouTube. So, what's my favorite F body? That's a pretty broad question. I've got a lot of F bodies. My 78 Trans Am, by far, I chased that car for years to finally get the 78 Trans Am that I've got. One owner, Marty Blue, 46,000 mile car that never left Great Bend, Kansas. It was sold new in Larned, Kansas, 20 miles away, spent its whole life in Great Bend. And it was kind of a unicorn car. Everybody knew the car existed, but nobody had ever seen it because it had been in a garage for 15 years of its life. I ended up buying that car, I think, in 2011. So that Marty Blue 78 Trans Am, definitely one of my favorite F bodies, but I've got a bunch of them. Second and third gen, I've got an 82Z pace car with 28,000 miles on it. I've got two 94 25th anniversary Trans Ams. I've got a 30th anniversary 97Z that was sold new here in town. So I got a lot of F bodies. Let's get caught up on some comments. But I do like F bodies. It's hard to name them. It's hard to narrow them down. Fox body Mustangs absolutely are coming on. 91 and 96 B body wagons are getting tough. That's exactly right. No, mine's not a 77 Bandit. The first Trans Am I ever bought when I was in high school was a Marty Blue 78 that I bought wrecked real cheap. So the Martinique blue cars had always appealed to me. This car that I do have now own was, like I said, always kind of a unicorn car that everybody around knew existed. But like I said, it was buried in a garage for 15 or 20 years and hadn't been out on the road. And all the rumors were around that does it still exist? Does it still exist? Well, it did, and I ended up getting the car bought. So let's see. Same for 57 to 64 trucks on pricing. Yes, those are getting crazy popular. How's the market on 57 to 59 retracts? I see the market on 57 to 59 retracts softening. There's plenty of those cars out there. They come to auction pretty regularly, and I feel the retracts are not going up anymore unless it is a super spectacular over the top restoration. I've seen those cars still command money, but those cars I've seen command money are commanding 70 or 80,000 on a $125,000 restoration. So my gut feeling is the retracts are softening. Let's see. Pictures of the Trans Ams. Okay, I never have. There's actually a picture of the front of that car on my profile picture on my personal page, but that's the only picture of that Marty Blue Trans Am I think that I've got out there. So, and that's another thing, guys. I bring you a ton of videos from the yard and tons of videos on new inventory. I think I've only done one video on one of my good cars, and that was my '58 Pontiac. I did a video on one of the trucks that I haul with it because I get a lot of guys that ask questions about what I use for equipment. So I did a video on one of my Cummins diesels that I use to haul with. But the '58 Pontiac, I think, is the only good car that I have that I've done a video on. So I probably should do a few of those if you guys are interested. Yeah, Chopper, give me a shout on the Henry J's. 30s to 40s car haulers. No, I don't run into anything. I have not seen anything like that. I assume we're talking about like the transport trailers or something like that. Looking for old school engines. Yeah, I've got stuff. It just depends on exactly what you're looking for. So have not done a video on my tow truck yet. That's something else I need to get done. I know you guys want to see the toy truck, my tow truck. Memorabilia Monday, Toy Tuesday, Wagon Wednesday. Terry's getting me all lined out here. Thanks, Terry. 68 to 72 Dart Valiant trends. I see them kind of on a level. I don't really see them going up. I don't really see them going down. So that's kind of where I see those they're kind of on a plateau, I would say, at this point. The 67 to 69 Dart is pretty popular, but I don't see them bringing stupid money. But if they're still a good quality Mopar, they're going to bring fair money. So Barney is on. He's got a lot of retract stuff. 55 to 57 Ford wagons are getting crazy. If it's a wagon, anything is crazy. Wagons are just crazy, period. Wagons are kind of like cab over trucks. They were utilitarian vehicles. If you bought a station wagon, you bought it because you had to haul the family around. You used it hard, you used it up, and then everybody threw it away, and nobody kept them because it wasn't a two-door hardtop or a convertible over the years. And hey, we got our buddy Bill Twitchell on with us again. Great to have you on, Bill. 70 Catalinas. I've got one 70 Catalina, and I've got a couple of 70 Bonnevilles in stock right now. Valiant is not going up. That's kind of what we talked about. I'd say just kind of flat. They're kind of on a plateau. They're good cars. They're worth a little bit of money, but I don't see them going through the roof. Truck Thursday, Firebird Friday. I'm gonna have to add about 50 weeks to the year to keep up with all you guys. So, but I do appreciate the comments. I'm having fun with you guys, and this is a blast for me too. My dad doesn't know, and he's looking for body parts for 47 Chevy Coupe. I do have a lot of 46 to 48 Chevys. The only thing I've got in a coupe in that body is a 42. There's not a lot left of it. So Nomads are definitely cool. So John still wants Firebird Friday, so maybe we'll do that one of these days. We'll start doing some Firebird, get some of my better cars out. Movie Car Monday. Yeah, I love all your ideas. It's a blast. I got to work sometime. I assume you guys want your parts shipped to you at some point. So, but no, these are all great ideas, and I'd love to do all of them. It just it depends on what we can get put together and what reality lets us do. So, anyway, that's kind of about what I've got for tonight. That's all that goes through all of my notes. If you're a winners, give me a call so I can get the cans off to you. Yeah, Tumas is ready to come help. Thanks, Tumas. I appreciate it. The problem is I just never know what direction I'm going. It changes literally every day. I may have all kinds of things planned for one day, and then I may have 3 guys order parts first thing the next morning, and then I'm pulling in parts and packaging. 66 and 67 Fairlanes are hot. They are hot, absolutely. Old Firebirds, yeah. 70 Catalina Bonneville headlight. Oh, the fiberglass headlight panels. Yeah, give me a call on that. I should still have some of those. So give me a call on that, and I'll get that on my list and double check that tomorrow. So anyway, guys, I think we'll start wrapping up. I don't want to drag on forever. I could talk all night, and I know I would bore all you guys to death. So I don't want to do that either. But we've still got about 55 people on, which is awesome. I can't thank you guys enough for hanging out and spending part of your evening with me. So, and let's wrap this up and plan on being back here next Sunday night if you guys want to still keep doing it. And I'm getting a lot of comments and everybody's participating, and that's awesome. So I don't know why belly buttons smell like that. MTH666 on YouTube. You got me. I think you got everybody on that one. So anyway, guys, let's wrap up, and we will see you next week. If you can help me out, share the videos with your friends. Tell them about what we're doing here. And it's a blast. We're having fun. Let's do some more of it. And we will see you tomorrow night on the new episode of Nobody Show. Got any questions, give me a call. Glenn wants me to talk all night. I can't. I probably could talk all night, Glenn, but I think it would probably be me and you because I think I would probably bore everybody else to death. So thanks, everybody. Like I said, I still can't believe you guys want to jump on and hang out with me and spend some of your evenings with us. The winners, Tumas and John Little and Tumas Hedrick off of YouTube. YouTube got it tonight. They were in first. So I'll do some more research, come up with something cool for the next trivia next week, and we will see you guys then. And we'll wrap up and get out of here. I'm going to get some work done. Give me a shout if you need something. Still shipping parts 2 or 3 times a week. And we'll see you next Sunday night. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate it.